Chapter 3, starting with verse 21. This I recall to my mind, therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. Oh, if you were looking for somewhere to shout, you should have shouted right there. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. How many of you know that when your head don't know it, your soul knows it? Therefore will I hope in him. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, let me drop this on you. You will not be consumed. You will not be consumed. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. I would preface this message with this question. Is my condition my conclusion? It's what I'm going through right now in my life. And how many of you are going through something? Is what I'm going through in my life my end? Or will my life end in this place that I am? These questions many times arise in the heart and the mind when we are faced with things that are out of our control. Because while we want things to end, we don't want our lives to end with the thing. No, we want the trouble to end in our lives. But we don't want our lives to end with the trouble. We want the disease to end in our body. But we don't want our lives to end with the disease. We want the worry and the stress to end. But we don't want to lose our mind in the process. We don't want our lives to end because things we find ourselves in. But can I tell you this morning that many times these are the natural mode of thinking in these type of situations, because our lives have been tied to these conditions and situations so long that we don't see ourselves outside of what we've been in for so long. And this is the place where the enemy wants to keep us. Because in this place, we don't see what God is doing. When you're going through, let's be real this morning, you don't all the time see the grace of God. When you're going through, you don't all the time see the love of God. You don't all the time see the blessing of God, because it becomes a Lodabar type of thing. In the Word of God, it mentions a city called Lodabar, which means in the Hebrew, it's a place of no word or no thing. It's a place of barrenness. It's a place of dryness. It's a place of hopelessness. And many times we go to Lodabar mentally when we face certain things in our lives. We say nothing. We do nothing. We don't seek God, because Lodabar is a place of hopelessness, and where there is no hope, there is no life. Because of circumstances and situations, I need to let you know that many people are living in a place of hopelessness and despair, even though they have a relationship with God. And I know now that sounds crazy, because the child of God would think, if I got God, if I got a relationship with God, there are certain things I should not have to deal with. I shouldn't have to deal with calamity if I know God. I shouldn't have to deal with crisis if I'm in relationship with Jesus. I shouldn't have to face uncertainty when I know God. But can I tell you, we are not exempt. We are empowered. Just lean over to your neighbor and say, neighbor, you're not exempt from the trouble. You're just empowered to deal with the trouble. Paul did not say I can do all things because I won't have to face the challenges that all things bring. But he was saying now, I have been empowered to do it because of the strength that I receive from Christ. So when I face the challenges, I place my hope in Jesus, and he brings to pass what I need. So in the face of the challenge, I don't go hopeless. I go hopeful in spite of what it looks like in my situation. I need you to tell somebody, hope is present. My hope now is in God, and whenever God is with you, hope automatically shows up. Oh, I wish I had somebody in here, because the word of God says that God is everywhere. Well, that's not just geographically, but more so it's spiritually. So wherever you are, God is there. Let me say that again. Wherever you are, God is there. I need to say it one more time. Wherever you are, God is. If you are down, God is there. If you're in trouble, God is there. If you're in pain, God is there. If you're in strain, God is there. Because wherever you are, he is there with you. Oh God, can we keep going? So if God is there and hope shows up with God, that anytime I recognize his presence, it raises me from hopelessness to hopefulness, because my hope in God will not fail me. Oh, I wish I had somebody in here. High five your neighbor and say, neighbor, I've never done anything where I trusted God and he failed me. I've never called on him and he didn't answer. I never asked him and he didn't make a way. Oh, I wish I had somebody in here. And maybe I'm the only one that God does like that. But I just believe there's somebody on your pew that will testify that he keeps on making. The devil can never put you in anything that God can get you out of. You would never find yourself in any situation that God can't fix. You would never experience any problem in your life that God doesn't have a solution for. So no matter what the enemy sends your way, as long as God is there, it won't consume you. God, because God loves you too much. He cares about you too deeply, and he favors you too much to let something consume you. Oh God, I wish I had somebody in here that just believed you got grace dripping all over you. I wish I had somebody in here that knows that favor has anointed you for victory. I wish I had somebody in here that knows that though he's slain, yet will I trust him, because the trust is going to get me in the place for the greatest victory I've ever had in my life. It's this truth that is revealed to the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah, who wrote Lamentations, is dealing with his own feelings. Oh God. His own feelings about the state of affairs of Judah. Judah now is suffering from the consequences of their own decision to turn away from God, and now they are dealing with his wrath. Oh God, Judah means praise. So they turned away from praise and turned to sorrow. Because they had to deal with the consequences of their own decision. And because they had to deal with the consequences, they could now see the destruction of what they loved. They loved the city, but now the city, because of the consequences of the disobedience, had been ravished, and their enemies were winning, and it appeared to Jeremiah that this is not going to get any better, and that the people was doomed to destruction. Can I tell you this? One thing the child of God has to realize about God is that while he is God, he is also judge. And something the judge now executes the law. And whenever we violate the law of the kingdom, we got to deal with the judge. A judge that is just now, a judge that is pure, a judge that will execute righteous judgment based on the transgression of the law he has set in the kingdom. This is why the word says that obedience now is better than sacrifice, because in obedience we find grace. In sacrifice we got to deal with judgment. God, I don't know if you've ever been there where you had to deal with the harvest you planted. Oh yeah. The Bible says, be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that also shall he reap. So the Bible says we will reap what we sow, meaning now that we will have a harvest of our seed sown. So whatever we put in the ground is what will come up over time. So then now, if we sow to unrighteousness, we will reap the harvest those seeds produce. And sometimes we look at what we're going through and we ask the question, why is this happening to me? Well, I want to invite you to look back over your life at the seeds that you have sown. High five your neighbor and say, neighbor, remember when? Remember when you cussed that person out for no reason, and now folk cussing you out for no reason. Remember when you spoke ill about somebody, and now your name is in the tabloids. Remember when you told God you weren't going to do this or that. Now nobody would do what you asked them to do. Remember when you could not forgive, and now you are struggling in your spirit with God. Remember when you were wayward in your walk with God, and you're going through stuff that you're asking, where is God? Remember that attitude you displayed with your brother or your sister, and now everybody you know got a problem with you. Remember what the Lord said. He said it will come back to you. Can I tell you this? When it comes back, baby, it's going to be bigger than what you put in. So they're not going to just cuss you out. They're going to talk about your mama. They're going to talk about your daddy. They're going to talk about everybody in the family, because you will reap what you sow. Oh, y'all looking at me funny, like y'all ain't never been cussed out. Y'all looking at me funny, like ain't nobody ever lied on you. Y'all looking at me funny, like ain't nobody ever ran your name through the mud. Well, before you get mad, grab your gun and start shooting up some stuff. You need to look back over your life, baby, and all of the casualties that you laid out yourself. Jeremiah was in agony in his spirit. Because he knew why they were in that predicament. And he felt hopeless in this predicament. If their situation was based on what somebody else did, they could easily ask God for deliverance out of the hand of their enemy. But what do you do when the enemy is you? Oh God, what do you do when you are your worst enemy? Oh God, what do you do when the source of what you're in is you? And when it's you now, the agony is greater because you could have went another way. When it's you, the pain is deeper because you could have done something other than what you did. When it's you, the hurt is more severe because you want to destroy the one who did this to you, but you don't want to destroy yourself. Touch 3 people and tell them, I need an answer. I need an answer to pull me out of this dilemma without killing myself. I need an answer to turn my life around. I need an answer so that I won't lose my mind in the process of trying to get my stuff together. The answer now is in verse 3. Jeremiah said this, I recall to my mind, therefore I have hope. So what are you saying? Your answer is in your recall. Your hope is in your recall. Isn't it funny that God would let you remember your trouble, but he will allow you to recall what he did when you were in trouble? Oh, I wish I had somebody in here that remembers, I'm sorry, not remember, but you recall where you were. You recall what he did, because now remembrance will only tell you some of the story, because it's based on you remembering or the level of remembrance in your mind. But my recall, when I recall it, I go back and experience it all over again. And now my recall will tell me the whole story. My recall will tell what I did and what God did for me. My recall will tell what the enemy did. But when the enemy came in like a flood, the burden of the Lord lifted a standard against him. My recall would tell me how I felt, but my recall would tell what God did. I need the people to just go into recall. I need 3 people just to go into recall right now. Now when you go into recall, don't praise him. Oh, come on somebody. I need at least 3 of y'all to just kind of think about the times in your life, what you did and what God, oh, why y'all praising him? I told you to praise him. Just go back to the time you were sick, but don't praise him. Go back to the time that you almost lost your life. Don't praise him. Go back to the time that the enemy was trying to take your family out, but they're looking at you right now because God did something. Oh, I wish I had somebody in here. Oh, I got the wrong crowd this morning. High five your neighbor and say, neighbor, it ain't my remembrance, baby. It's my recall. Because when I go back at the times of my life and I look things over, I see how God had brought me through. He brought me out. He lifted me up, healed my body, turned me around, delivered me. I didn't get that from my remembrance. I got that from my hallelujah. Oh God. It's in the recall that Jeremiah's spirit became lifted. It's in the recall that he sees now the presence of the Lord. And here's what he said. It's of the Lord's mercy. When I go back to recall, I can answer my question. It's because of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed. And the word consume means to be brought to an end, to be utterly destroyed. It was revealed in his praise that Jeremiah, that the only reason that the nation still existed was because of the mercies, the compassions, the pity of God on our lives. God uses mercy to look beyond your faults. God uses mercy to look past your disobedience. God uses mercy to look beyond the predicament we got ourselves in. Now he uses grace to bless you. He uses grace to keep you. He uses mercy to rescue you. Jeremiah said, he said his compassions, they fail not. Well, what are you saying? He's saying the mercies of God, they fail not. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm only here because of the mercies of my God. The devil tried to kill me, but he had compassion, and I'm alive today. They tried to take me out, but his mercy endureth forever. I don't know about you, but many were the times in my life that if it had not been for the mercies of God, I would be dead, sleeping in my grave. But the Lord showed mercy on my soul. High five your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm a mercy baby. Yeah, I'm a mercy baby. I am born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I'm a mercy baby. I wasn't born with it all together. I'm a mercy baby. I've done wrong, but I'm a mercy baby. I stumbled, I'm a mercy baby. I fell, but I'm a mercy baby. Do I have any kinfolk in the house? Where are the mercy babies? It was his mercy and his power that lifted me. Somebody say, God. Now Jeremiah, he said his compassions, they fail not. Can I tell you this? When compassion is when grace and mercy comes together, I bless by rescuing me from myself. I don't know about you, but I don't want his compassion to fail in my life. I don't want his compassion to quit in my life. I don't want his compassion to stop in my life, because I know I don't deserve it, but God, I sure do need it. I know I don't deserve to be blessed, but I need a blessing right now. I know I don't deserve to be kept alive, but Father, I need you. I don't deserve for me to be here, but God, I feel like preaching now, but God, who is rich in mercy, high five your neighbor and say, neighbor, he's rich in mercy. It ain't running out. He won't do mercy on Monday and judgment on Friday, but God will. Show me mercy. God, Lord, if you move your hand, I'll be destroyed. If you take your spirit away, snatched up. If you leave it, I won't make it. So Lord, don't let your compassion fail. But I heard the Lord say, touch your neighbor and say, yeah, I am God. I am King. I am healer. I am Savior. I am provider. I am rock. I am comforter. I am Lord. I am Savior. I am anything you need. I am. He said, I won't leave you nor forsake you. Well, can I tell you what he's saying? Here's what he said. When you're sick, healing won't leave you. When you're downtrodden, encouragement won't leave you. When you're in lack, provider won't leave you. Oh, I need somebody in here that just understand that when he said, I will never leave you nor forsake you, it's here. I'm here because I want to be. I'm here because I love you. I'm here because I'm for you. And so now the fire is hot, but you won't be consumed because I am right there. You may be crying, but you won't be consumed. You may be hurting, but you won't be consumed. You may be struggling, but you won't be consumed because God is in the fire. God is in the struggle. God is on your side. High five your neighbor and say, neighbor, yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I will not fear, for thou art with me. He's in front of me, he's behind me, on both sides. And here's what he said: goodness and mercy shall follow me. I won't be consumed. But somebody in here, Brother Brett, they don't believe me. Come here, Shadrach. Come here, Meshach, and bring Abednego with you. The Bible said that they were put in the fire, but they didn't go in by themselves. I need somebody to know that you're in the fire, but you're not in there by yourself. They are in there. There are people on your pew that's in there with you, but you are not in there by yourself. The Bible said they turned up the heat and he didn't leave. They turned up the flame, he didn't leave. And here's what he did. I need three people. Here's what God did in the fire. God, if you ain't in the fire, I don't need you up here. I need three folk that are in the fire. Come on now. Come on, get here, get here. Here's what happened. The Bible said they put three in. But see now, the reason why Nebuchadnezzar, Minister Rocha, couldn't see is because he covered them. He covered them. They said, I see a Shadrach. I see Meshach. I see Abednego. But there's something that's covering them. There's something. I can't tell what it is. And here's what he said. He said, it looks like, wait a minute, no Meshach man has seen God at any time, but maybe they heard the word of God, that when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord covers them. He covers them. I find your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm covered with anointing. I'm covered with joy. I'm covered with peace. I'm covered with healing. And I will not be consumed. I will live and not die. I'll have joy and not sorrow. I'll have victory and not defeat. I wish I had 3 people in the house that will declare, I will not be consumed. I'm crying, but I won't be consumed. I'm hurting, but I won't be consumed. I'm going through, but I will not be consumed. Somebody lift your hand and tell the devil, I will not be consumed. My marriage is crazy, but I won't be consumed. My job is ignorant, but I won't be consumed. My friends done left me, but I won't be consumed, because as long as I got Jesus, as long as I got God, I got everything, 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 everything that I need. If I need healing, it's in Jesus. If I need power, it's in Jesus. If I need doors open, it's in Jesus. Oh, I'm preaching to me now. If I need whatever, and my God shall supply all my needs according to his riches in glory. I need 3 people to jump right now. Just jump right now. Just jump right now. I'm jumping to the next level. I'm jumping to higher praise. I'm jumping to my breakthrough. I won't be consumed. I won't be consumed. Because the devil can't kill what God says will live. Oh, y'all didn't hear me. Y'all didn't hear me. The devil can't kill what God says will live. And here's the word of God over your life. You will live. Oh, Sister Mia, can I go into that? When he said you shall live, he wasn't just talking about you existing. Okay, here's what he said. I come that you might have life, and that life more abundantly. Oh my God. Somebody go get it in a minute and just wreck the place. Listen, here's what he's saying. I didn't come just to keep you from hell. I came so that you can have your eternal place in your temporary place. They don't hear me. They don't hear me. I didn't come for you to be broke. I didn't come for you to be disgusted. I didn't come for you to be discouraged. I came that you might have life and life more. So every time the enemy tries to say it's over, tell the enemy it's just starting. It's just starting. It's just starting. It ain't over. It ain't over. Somebody in here today, you came in and the enemy tried to tell you that what you're in right now ain't gonna get no better. You are going to die in your life. But I stopped by to tell you that the enemy is a liar. You're not going to die in your life. You're going to live your best life. Oh my God. Oh my God. Because God is not unfamiliar with what you're going through right now. Oh no. The Bible says his eyes are in every place, beholding the good and the bad. If I am the apple of his eye, nothing that I go through will ever escape his vision. Because if I know nothing else, I know he watches me. Oh, I wish I had somebody. If I don't know nothing else, I know that God watches me. Hey, oh my God. You know how I know he watches me, Ayana? Because when the car wreck tried to kill me, I know he's watching me. Because when I was at my lowest, he raised me. How many of you have ever got a blessing you didn't pray for? You was having a pity party. You were mad at everybody. You were mad at yourself. But something on the inside raised you. The Bible says he is the lifter of our head. Glory be to God. The Bible teaches us that he is a provider. Now he's a provider, but he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Let me tell you this. If God is watching you, he sees you. He provides for you in what he sees you going through. Why do we trip at the sight of a challenge? I think the young people say real talk, real talk, real talk. Because here's what I know, Sister Cooper. If he did it once. See, listen, let me tell you something. See, what some of you have done is thrown your resume away. Come on, yes. You throw your resume away. Well, what is a resume for? A resume tells a potential employer where you've been employed and what you did at that place. And so what the resume serves to, when it looks at your experience, it determines whether you're qualified for what you're applying for. So here's what God is saying. Don't throw away your resume. He says, I don't need it, but you do. Because last year, I brought you through. But since you got a short memory, I need you to look at your resume and see when you called on me on this day at that time, I stepped into the hospital room and I healed your body. I need you to look at your resume the next time the devil try to tell you that you ain't amounting to nothing and that I won't do what I said I would do. I want you to look at your resume and see the time, see the date, see the hour that I came through. I want you to look at your resume the next time that the enemy says that you're going to die and not live. If I brought you through hell, I can take you to heaven, if I can bring you through the fire, what you're going through next is only another opportunity for me to show myself strong. Somebody say, well, Pastor, you don't know what you're talking about. You just giving me a lot of stuff that you studied, but you ain't got no experience. You and the devil is a lie. God has brought me through some stuff that I should have been there. I should have been consumed. And somebody said, well, how did you get through? But God. It wasn't young people, listen to me. It wasn't because I'm a preacher. It wasn't because I love my wife and I've never cheated on my wife. It wasn't because I love my children and I'll do anything for them. It wasn't because of anything that I've done. It was because he pitied me. Oh, God. Oh, that hit me. He saw somebody struggling, trying to do the best they could, and he pitied me. Somebody said, I don't want no pity blessing, as long as it comes from God. Oh, I believe I got some witnesses in here that'll say, I'll take it. He looked at a little boy on the side of a mountain, writing him love songs, tending to nasty sheep. Yes. He said, I love that boy. Amen. And when everybody else thought it wouldn't amount to nothing, God said, I'm going to make him king of Israel. Can I tell you this? God sees the little girl. He sees the little boy. He sees the man that's being faithful. He sees the woman that's being committed. He sees all of the junk you have to deal with in just trying to be true to him. And it's not because you deserve it. It's not because you serve him. Jeremiah said, I realize now it's his compassions. They fail not. Morning. Y'all got to excuse me, it's personal now. Morning. If I stayed up all night long worrying, the morning would come. New mercies. I see. I wonder if you ever went to bed worried, went to bed stressed, tossed and turned all night long, but there's something about the morning. It's like when you get up in the morning, there's a new perspective. There's a new outlook. There's new motivation. But can I lump it all together? That's just mercy. That's just God saying, you know what? You went to bed with your trouble on your mind, but I woke you up with me on your mind. And I'm telling you, this is the day that the Lord has made. And if you will make the decision to rejoice, I'll fix your problem. I will give you victory in your struggle. If you give me the glory, if you give me the praise, I'll do things that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. I saw you you. I know where you are, but I will give you victory if you give me praise. Notice, God will give you something you can't do for exchange for something you can do. You can praise him. Oh, I know you said, Pastor, that's simplistic, but baby, you can praise him. Oh, it don't oh my God, it may cost you to worship, but everything that has breath can praise him. Yeah. Well, what do you mean by that, Pastor? Well, you see, worship, I got to go through some experiences with God. To really worship, I got to cry sometime. To really worship, I got to hurt sometime. To really worship, because here's what he said: if you are going to reign with me, you got to suffer with me. But when I go through my suffering, after this, I'm on another level. After the hurt, I'm on another level. After the pain, you ain't got to beg me to praise him. I come into his house with singing. I come in there with thanksgiving. Matter of fact, forget the house. Before I leave my house, I'll worship. Hallelujah. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, I've been through too much not to worship him. I can tell when people ain't been through enough, because you got to ask them to worship. I can tell when people ain't been through near enough, because you got to beg them to worship. But I can also tell when people have been through hell and they back now. I can also tell that when people been through the fire but they ain't got smoke on their clothes. I can tell when people that been down when they thought they never would get up. You ain't got to ask them. Soon as you say, welcome to the house of God, something on the inside. I worship because he didn't allow me to be consumed. God, do me a favor. Lean over to your neighbor with all the love you can muster and just tell them, God said, you will not be consumed. Oh my God. Mercies endure forever. Oh God. My life is in his hand. If you're here today and you don't know this Jesus I'm talking about, you don't know this God I'm talking about, you don't know him in relationship, you know him with head knowledge, you know Jesus because you went to Sunday school, you know Jesus because you went to BTU, you used to be in the Sunshine Band and you was in the young adult choir, and you know him because of head knowledge, but you don't have a heart relationship with him. I want to say it to you especially. The only reason that you have not been consumed is because God wants you to have a relationship with him. If you're here, you ought to